found the first piece underneath the bed we used to sleep in, a sliver of the woman I had set aside for loving. She was laughing at something I no longer can remember, before the years of compromise had quieted her edges. I hadn't known how much I left in rooms I stopped returning to. Until I started walking back through every door I'd close. I'm collecting the pieces, the ones I gave away too freely, the ones I hid in corners just to make the space feel easy. Every shard a signature of something I'd abandoned, every fragment proof that I was always more than what remained. I'm collecting the pieces, and I'm learning how they fit again. I found my voice inside a journal I had buried under moving boxes. Still mid-sentence, still unfinished, still insisting on its ending. There were dreams I'd folded small enough to live inside a pocket. Now I'm pressing them back open on the table in the morning light. Gather what was scattered, reclaim what was surrendered. Every piece returning is a doorway to remember who she was before the giving, who she is now in the finding. Collecting all the pieces into someone worth becoming. I'm collecting the pieces, the ones I gave away too freely, the ones I hid in corners just to make the space feel easy. Every shard a signature of something I'd abandoned, every fragment proof that I was always more than what remained. I'm collecting the pieces, and I'm learning how they fit again. There's no blueprint for the woman that emerges from this gathering. No original to reference, no before state to restore. What assembles in the aftermath is something altogether different. Not a restoration, but a portrait never painted once before. I am not returning, I am finally arriving at the version of myself that all the breaking was becoming. So let me take my time. No rush, no deadline, no apology. Each piece deserves the reverence of a careful pair of hands. I am not a broken thing in need of someone else to mend me. I am whole enough to hold myself, and wise enough to understand that the collecting was the healing, and the healing in the end was always mine to do. I still reach for my phone at the hour you used to call. Muscle memory of a love that has no number now to dial. Your name lives in the back of every room I walk into, but the door I kept unlocked for you has learned to bolt itself. I wore your expectations like a second set of skin, until I couldn't tell where you ended and I began. I'm no longer yours to worry over, no longer yours to keep, no longer the apology you reach for in your sleep. I shed the shape you carved for me somewhere along the leaving, and the woman standing here tonight chose herself instead of pleasing. No longer yours, and that is finally enough. You called it love, but love does not require you to shrink, does not ask you to abandon every instinct that you think. I gave you all the soft parts, and you handed back conditions. Now I'm gathering the pieces with no interest in permission. Not your silence to command, not your story, not your hand. I was never just a mirror you held up to see yourself. I am standing in my own light now, belonging to myself. I'm no longer yours to worry over, no longer yours to keep, no longer the apology you reach for in your sleep. I shed the shape you carved for me somewhere along the leaving, and the woman standing here tonight chose herself instead of pleasing. No longer yours, and that is finally enough. There's grief in this, I won't pretend the freedom has no ache. Every liberation cost the life you thought you'd make. But I'd rather mourn the version of me lost inside your needing than spend another season in a love that stopped me breathing. So keep the memories folded in whatever drawer you choose. I'm walking out with everything I almost let you lose. Not bitter, not unraveled, not the wound you left behind. I am no longer yours. I'm entirely mine. I set an extra place for weeks after the leaving. Old habit feeding absence like it still had appetite. The rooms rearranged themselves around the space you vacated, and somewhere in the rearranging I found room for actual light. I spent the first month cataloging everything I'd lost, then noticed what was growing in the ground you'd left exposed. So thank you for leaving, thank you for the door you shut behind you, for taking all the noise that I had mistaken for belonging. Thank you for the silence that arrived the morning after I finally heard my own voice in the language I've been starving. Thank you for leaving. It was the kindest thing you ever did for me. You carried out the comfortable, the familiar, and the certain, left me with the unfamiliar weight of my own wanting. I'd forgotten what I reached for when no one set the agenda. Turns out I reached for mornings, open windows, my own name. Thank you for the absence, thank you for the ache, thank you for dismantling every version built to break. Thank you for not staying, thank you for the space I meant I had to make. It was waiting in your place. So thank you for leaving, thank you for the door you shut behind you, for taking all the noise that I had mistaken for belonging. Thank you for the silence that arrived the morning after I finally heard my own voice in the language I've been starving. Thank you for leaving. It was the kindest thing you ever did for me. I'm not rewriting what we were into something worth forgiving. I remember every fault line, and I'm keeping the account. each made a different set of choices, chose himself with the same conviction he once used to choose you. And that man deserved the leaving just as much as I did. So carry this as something other than a wound to keep reopening. More door than someone opened by the act of walking out. Thank you doesn't cover it, but gratitude's the closest word I'm finding for the life that only started when you finally ran out. I had forgotten what it felt like to take up space in the room. Spent so long making myself smaller, invisible, consumed. My chest had learned to carry what my mouth refused to say. Ribs like a locked cabinet, holding everything in place. Then something cracked the surface, not dramatic, not a flood, just a single moment where I let the air back in my blood. I'm breathing again slowly, like I'm learning how, like my lungs forgot the rhythm and they're finding it right now. Not the gasping kind, not the desperate kind of free, just the quiet deep inhale of someone finally being me. I'm breathing again, and it doesn't hurt the way it did. I walked outside at sunrise just to feel the cold against my throat. Let the morning ask me nothing, let the light demand no note. There's a muscle memory in living I had let grow thin, like a song I knew the words to until someone crossed them out within. Feel the lungs release the holding, every breath the door unfolding. I was drowning dressed as someone who was doing fine. Now I'm surfacing, and this air is finally mine. I'm breathing again slowly, like I'm learning how, like my lungs forgot the rhythm and they're finding it right now. Not the gasping kind, not the desperate kind of free, just the quiet deep inhale of someone finally being me. I'm breathing again, and it doesn't hurt the way it did. There were nights I lay completely still and tested if I vanished. Held the dark inside my palms like it was all that I could manage. But the body has a stubbornness, a hunger for the morning. It kept pulling me toward daylight even when I had stopped wanting. So this breath is not a triumph, it's not theater, not a victory speech. It's just a man who almost disappeared, deciding he would stay to see what comes next, what grows back, what was never really lost, just buried under everything survival caused. I packed the last familiar thing inside a borrowed case. Stood at the edge of everything I'd mapped and memorized. The road ahead holds no coordinates, no promised landing place, just the terrifying mercy of a life unrecognized. I've been building walls and calling them a blueprint, mistaking what I knew for what was meant to be. I'm embracing the unknown, arms open to the unwritten, letting go of every answer I was gripping like a lifeline. There's a kind of grace that only lives past the edge of certainty. We're stepping into fog and trusting what I cannot see. Embracing the unknown, rigid line. Surrender isn't falling, it's the wings you find mid-flight. The unknown isn't darkness, it's the hour just before the light. Let it be unfinished, let it be untamed. Everything I was afraid of has another name. I'm embracing the unknown, arms open to the unwritten. Letting go of every answer I was gripping like a lifeline. There's a kind of grace that only lives past the edge of certainty. I'm stepping into fog and trusting what I cannot see. Embracing the unknown, and it's asking everything of me. Every map I ever drew was just my fear in ink. Every plan a monument to all I wouldn't risk. Now the river has no railing and the sky has no marked ceiling. And my chest is full of something I can only call becoming. So I walk without a compass into weather without name. Not reckless, not abandoned, just alive inside the chains. The unknown is not the enemy I spent my years avoiding. It's the only honest country where the self is worth exploring. You entered like a season that forgets to leave on schedule. Rearrange the furniture of every room inside me. I gave you the coordinates to everything I'd guarded, and watched you use the map to find the places most worth breaking. I thought the wreckage was the end of what I was entirely. Didn't know the wreckage was the blueprint of what's coming. I survived you, not the way the wounded call it surviving, but the way a winner feels survives. To meet the spring unnamed, I survived the version of myself that kept on waiting for the permission I was never used to give or take away. I survived you, and surviving you was how I learned my name. You left your shadow on the walls for longer than you lingered. I'd hear your voice inside my choices, second guessing daylight. But something in me kept refusing to become the damage. Kept insisting there was more of me than what you left diminished. I survived the silence after. I survived the version you convinced me was the truth. I survived the long reconstruction. I survived the hardest thing I've ever had to lose. I survived you. I survived you, not the way the wounded call it surviving, but the way a winner feels survives. To meet the spring unnamed, I survived the version of myself that kept on waiting for the permission I was never used to give or take away. I survived you, and surviving you was how I learned my name. There are things I will not thank you for, let me be precise. The strength I found was not a gift your cruelty left behind. I built it in the aftermath with hands that you had steadied into fist and into open palms and into mine. So here I stand without the armor and without the anger, wearing nothing but the truth of everything I weathered. Not defined by what you did, but by what I did after. I survived you, And the woman left is someone you could never have imagined. I counted every silence after you walked through the doorway, measured all the distance and the inches left between us. The doctors talking clinical, but nothing in their language names what happens when a person loses someone still living. I press my hand against my chest just to confirm the rhythm, surprised to find the engine running still beneath the ruin. My heart still beats, got my heart still beats. After everything it's witnessed, after all the ground is seeded, my heart still beats through the hollows in the history. Not loud, not proud, just persistent in its breathing. My heart still beats, quiet proof that I'm not finished, that the deepest kind of damage didn't take what matters most. I walked through rooms we'd furnished with intention and with laughter. Now every piece of furniture a monument to know. And I tried to find a version of myself that lived before you, but he gone ahead without me to a place I hadn't mapped yet. Still beating through the barrier, still burning through the cold, still turning toward the morning when everything inside me had been told to let it go. This muscle made of mercy refuses to stop holding. My heart still beats, my heart still beats. My heart still beats, got my heart still beats. After everything it's witnessed, after all the ground is seeded, my heart still beats through the hollows in the history. Not loud, not proud, just persistent in its breathing. My heart still beats, quietly proof that I'm not finished, that the deepest kind of damage didn't take what matters most. There's a stubbornness in living that I never chose or authored, something in the body that I let the mind surrendering. I have sat inside the wreckage with my hands completely empty and felt this faithful muscle keep its covenant regardless. It does not ask permission, it does not console my grieving, it simply keeps the count of every reason left for being. So I'll follow where it leads me, through the unfamiliar seasons. Let the beating be the argument when words have lost their footing. My heart still beats, and probably magnificently, quietly. A man rebuilt by nothing but the fact that it refused to stop. Still here, still beating, still mine. Found the photograph inside the drawer we never opened. Two strangers wearing faces we had somehow stopped becoming. The crack ran clean across the center, splitting me from you. But I couldn't bring myself to throw the broken frame away. Maybe what's been shattered doesn't need to be erased. Maybe all the missing pieces left a map behind. Rebuilding what was broken, board by board and word by word. Laying down a softer floor where falling used to hurt. I'm not trying to restore the house that burned, just finding what survives and learning how to build building something true from the rubble of what healed. Rebuilding what was broken, board by board and word by word. Laying down a softer floor where falling used to hurt. I'm not trying to restore the house that burned, just finding what survives and learning how to build with what remains. There's a kind of grace in ruins if you stay long enough to see it. Wildflowers through the concrete, roots that crack the perfect surface. I used to mourn the version of us polished and untested. Now I love us more for every fault line we've exposed. So hand me all the pieces you were too ashamed to offer. I'll hand you mine without the edits and the explanations. We won't be seamless, won't be finished, won't be what we planned, but we'll be real, and real is more than I had hoped to hold again. Hold again. I sat beside the window while the rain rehearsed my crying. Let the weather be the language I had lost inside the hurting. There are griefs too large for words, but perfectly sized for water. So I gave my body over to the tide I'd been resisting. Something ancient lives inside the act of letting go completely. A baptism no one warned me could feel this much like relief. These are the tears that wash the pain, not the ones that drown me, but the ones that fell like rain. Cleaning up the corridors I kept too dark to enter, softening the stone I'd built around my own surrender. These tears were never weakness, they were water finding level. They washed the pain until the wound forgot it had to hurt. I had learned to hold my face in careful, dry composure, performing fine so fluently I almost had myself deceived. But sorrow held too long begins to petrify inside you, becomes the very walls you build to keep from being seen. Let it fall, let it pour, every drop a closed door opening. Let it fall, let it pour, what the tears take, the tears restore. Wash me to the marrow, leave me clear and hollow, ready for whoever I become along the shore. These are the tears that wash the pain, not the ones that drown me, but the ones that fell like rain. Cleaning up the corridors I kept too dark to enter, softening the stone I built around my own surrender. These tears were never weakness, they were water finding level. They washed the pain until the wound forgot it had to hurt. There's a woman I became inside the years I spent not crying. Armored, fast and functional, but hollow at the center. She served me well through seasons that required no softness, but she could not carry me past everything I'd buried. So I laid her down beside the grief and wept for both of us. Now the morning finds me lighter in a way I can't articulate, like something that was fossilized has been returned to water. I am not the sum of every sorrow I accumulated. I am what remained when all the tears had done their quiet work, clean and unafraid. And finally, I wrote the date in pencil so I could could erase the waiting. Stood inside the corridor between the dark and almost daylight. The night had done its work on me with patience and precision. Carved out every hollow where the fear had made its dwelling. But even gutted candles hold the memory of burning. And everything that's emptied out was emptied out for something. There's a brighter tomorrow behind the hour I'm standing in. Not a promise made of certainty, but something worth believing. I can feel it in the way the dark is thinning at the edges, the way my bones have started carrying a lighter kind of weight. A brighter tomorrow is not a destination, it's the direction that I'm choosing. Every morning that I wake, I stop rehearsing every version of the worst that hadn't happened. Let the unlit fear dissolve before it calcified the doctrine. There were people who had stood exactly where my feet are planted, who looked up from the same dark floor and found the ceiling made of stars. Rise into it, lean toward the light. Every scar a coordinate that guided you here. I rise into it, trust what survives. A brighter tomorrow is already alive, inside the choosing to arrive. There's a brighter tomorrow behind the hour I'm standing in. Not a promise made of certainty, but something worth believing. I can feel it in the way the dark is thinning at the edges, the way my bones have started carrying a lighter kind of weight. Brighter tomorrow is not a destination, it's the direction that I'm choosing. Every morning that I wake, I don't need the whole road lit to take the next step forward. Don't need every answer sown before I trust the scene. There's a version of tomorrow being written in the present, in the quiet act of standing up and daring still to dream. So I'll face the unlit hours with the faith of someone mended. Let the morning find me open, find me honest, find me here. A brighter tomorrow doesn't ask for perfect readiness, just a man who kept on walking through the very thing he feared. Just a man who kept on walking. I watched the last light leave the window like it knew the way a season understands its own expiring. There was no argument, no door slammed into silence, just two people finally honest in the fading. I thought goodbye would feel like something being stolen. Instead it came in quietly, like snow that sticks to nothing. There's a beauty in the goodbye I never thought I'd find, in the graceful way we loosen what we'd spent such time to bind. Not everything that ends is broken, not every closing is a scar. Some goodbyes are the most honest thing two people ever are. There's a beauty in goodbye, and it breaks me and it frees me all at once. We split the silence evenly, no ledger and no blame. Returned each other's laughter like a loan we both forgave. I keep the way you tilted toward a scar. Some goodbyes are the most honest thing two people ever are. There's a beauty in goodbye, and it breaks me and it frees me all at once. I used to think that love was measured by its stay, and that anything worth having had to outlast all its seasons. But we were two perfect instruments playing in the same key, until the song required a different kind of ending. So let this be the goodbye that we carry without shame. A photograph without the grief, a memory without the blame. Not everything dissolves into regret and what we lost. Some things end the way a candle does, completely, softly, having given everything. I used to fill the empty air with everything but meaning. Conversations layered over conversations just to hide. The noise was never comfort, it was scaffolding I leaned on, built to keep me upright when I couldn't face the inside. Then one night the words ran out and nothing came to replace them. And the silence didn't swallow me the way I thought it would. I found peace in the silence you left behind. Not the absence of you, but the stillness I could finally find. In the space between the breathing and the breaking, something ancient in a hurry started waking. I found peace in the silence, and it felt like coming home. Reaching for the volume when the night grew wide and heavy. Let the dark sit at the table like a guest I'd always feared. Somewhere in the stillness I heard my own voice clearly. For the first time, not performing, not rehearsed, not engineered. Quiet is not emptiness, silence is not lost. Sometimes the truest healing comes without a single word across. I found peace in the silence you left behind. Not the absence of you, but the stillness I could finally find. In the space between the breathing and the breaking, something ancient in the hurry started waking. I found peace in the silence, and it felt like coming home. Surrender isn't weakness wearing white. It's the river finally resting after running from the night. Every sound I chased was just the fear of what I'd hear if I stopped long enough to let myself be near. So let the room breathe without me filling it with trying. Let the walls hold all the things I can't put into words. I'm not disappearing, I am finally arriving. In the silence I was terrified of. I found her in the mirror at the hour before the morning. A woman wearing habits that had long outlived their purpose. The grief she carried wasn't hers, it was inherited and borrowed, stitched into the lining of a self she'd never chosen. Something underneath was pressing toward the surface, patient as a seed that finally decides to split the ground. I'm shedding the old skin, was always underneath. I burned the letters written in the voice I used to perform, the careful, pleasing cadence of a girl afraid of edges. There's tenderness in letting what no longer fits dissolve. Not violence, not erasure, just a natural progression. Peel it back, let the new breath. Every layer lost reveals what the years of hiding couldn't keep concealed. She was always there, unarmed, more true and healed. I'm shedding the old skin, the name they gave my silence, the version of me fluent in apology and smallness. Beneath the years of molding to the shape of others needing something raw and luminous was always there, just waiting. I'm shedding the old skin and learning what was always underneath. There's mourning in becoming, a tenderness for who you were. She was, she knew how to do with what the world had given her. I hold her with the grace I never offered in the living. Then I step across the threshold into everything she couldn't. So let the old skin fall wherever old skins go. Let it feed the earth that watched me not yet know.